I want to give a shout out to all the good Karens in the room. If your name is Karen and you're good, we see you and you matter. Right? I mean, right now you're like, well, Darren, what do you care about Karens? Well, because my name is Darren, I'm one letter away. I'm Darren Carter. I could have easily been Karen Darter. I'm ready for it though, like if the male version is Darren, like if you guys, oh look, here comes a Karen and a Darren. The Karen's like, I want to talk to the manager. And the Darren's like, and I want to talk to the assistant manager. Is it okay, Karen? I'll send the car with our daughter, Erin and Sharon. But I'm ready for it, you guys. If they're like, you're a Darren! I'm like, I'm not Darren, I'm Darren. Ron is all love me like a leprechaun, swing you to the bomb, I'll bang you like a tom-tom, then I'm out. I'm gone to Ron. I like my women like I like my shoes, no strings attached. I like my women like I like my elevator going down. With the weight limit. You guys yell out something, let's improvise. I like my women like I like my
car.
I've been married for 25 years, so the same one since 1997.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, listen to a pocket party. Pocket party. Darren.
And we're back. Hey, it's Darren Carter, the party starter. I have dates coming up at the Ice House. I can't believe the Ice House is going to reopen. So yes, come check me out at the Ice House in Pasadena, February 24th. I will be at the Ice House, the 9:30 show. Make sure you get your tickets. February 24th, Ice House. Also, February 7th, I will be at the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley. So come check me out there. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the Pocket Party podcast. Do us a huge favor and give it a review on Apple, on iTunes. Go to Apple Podcasts, give it a review. Just slap 5 stars and say something nice. Just make it real quick or make it long. However, whatever you want to do, it helps. The more reviews we get, the better it is. And if there's any way you want to help out financially, boom, go to those links below and check it out. Darren Carter. I'm on the Cash App. I'm on Venmo. I'm on PayPal. The whole thing. But let's get into it. Today we got Mike Black. We have a very exciting show. And I hope your week was good since the last episode. So let's talk to Mike Black. So what's been happening?
Oh, not much. I had kind of the week off this week, and so trying to do stuff around my apartment, and I'd always be missing like one thing.
Yeah.
Like it's time to do laundry, and I'd be missing like the pod or something like that, and I'd have to go shopping, and then I'd go and get that thing, and then I'd forget like some other thing, it was like just a nonstop chain of having to do that,
Oh yeah, when you're like, okay, I'm gonna do my errands, and then the one thing that you need, you're like, it's funny how little things can set you off in the wrong direction, right? Like one day I was driving to a gig, and I heard this rattle in the back of the trunk, like tung 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 tung, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's rolling around back there, and it turns out that the pole that like props your trunk up, it's somehow cracked. And so the thing completely fell. So, the whole hydraulic system where your trunk goes and it stays up. So that thing broke. And I was like, oh, let me think positive on this. Well, the good news is I can, I won't be bumping my alarm and having my trunk automatically pop up in public. So that's good.
Right.
So I had the bright idea for like about a week where I'm like, oh, I'll just use the pole to kind of prop open my trunk, kind of like you did back in the old days with your hood.
Yeah.
And And that works if you're just going to open it up real quick and grab something with your other hand, but not when you're like loading any kind of like luggage or anything heavy. You're like, oh, wait a second, I need two hands, and then I need to keep this trunk open. And then my buddy John DeRestis said, oh, be careful on that. He said that happened to him, and he was reaching in his trunk, and the pole or something slipped or fell, and the trunk, bam, hit his head, and they had to call the ambulance, and he had to get stitches in his head.
Oh, man.
So after that, I was like, yeah, because those trunks are very heavy. I mean, they go gong. I mean, yeah, it drops heavy. So I'm always very, very careful with that. I don't play around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Did you ever see the original Predator?
Yes.
With Jesse the Body Ventura had a character in there, and he had like one of those. I think they're Australian, like a safari sort of hat.
Mm.
And he would keep stuff in it and everything. And I was like, when I was doing all the different errands and stuff, I was like, I need a hat like that where I just have like emergency stuff hidden, ready in it. You know?
Yeah, I know, right? What do they always say? Like it's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And I think that's the very reason I always overpack. I'm telling, because I bring, I know, dude, I bring 2 toothbrushes. Did I tell you this? I bring an electric, and then I'm like, well, what if the thing breaks? So then I always bring a manual for a backup, but I prefer to brush my teeth with the electric.
Yeah, but what, like, how would, if it broke, it would just be a regular toothbrush, wouldn't it?
It would, but it feels weird. It's like this giant handled kind of like, it's like, I know. You know, like when you go up the escalator I know it's technically stairs, but when it's off, it feels weird. Like the steps are like separated like, at a stranger distance.
I guess, you know, maybe you just, you know that the AI might get upset. You know?
You're cheating on me. You are going manual.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. You know,
in case the machines take over, I'm going to be extra nice and do it.
I asked Austin one time if he was playing if he was using his electric toothbrush, and he goes, "No, I went acoustic." He calls the manual toothbrush his acoustic toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, I had a good day yesterday. I went out and I performed at the Ontario Improv, and as people know, LA has crazy traffic, so you have to. I looked at the traffic before I left, and I'm like, okay, as long as I leave by 1:00, I'll be fine. And then every 15 minutes, like if you leave at 1:15, you're adding another 10 minutes to your trip, and then it just where it was like, okay, So I ended up leaving around 1, and it was great. There was a little bit of traffic, but it wasn't too crazy. And what I always do is I'll find a Barnes and Noble or something like that, someplace I can kind of post up and chill. And I went to a Barnes and Noble, and I hung out there for a couple of hours, just kind of browsing books and catching up on emails and posting a couple of TikToks and that kind of thing. Some hard work. You roll your sleeves up and post some TikToks.
Well, you say that, but it really is like you have to think of stuff to do, and especially like when you have just a garage is the only space you have to do it. But I think sometimes that challenge makes you better. Sometimes having those confines of like, oh, okay, I only have 20 minutes, and I have a broom closet to work with.
Yeah,
I better come up with something funny.
It was nice to have 2 hours. I think I was there for a couple hours. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to use this for like research. Like, I remember I was reading this book, and I would write stuff down that inspired me or whatever out of it, something I could use for my comedy. And then you're kind of, you're walking. It's nice to know, like, okay. And it was very peaceful in that Barnes and Noble, like very quiet. Like everybody had on headphones or doing work. Remind me of the college days where people are in the, the library and they're working and.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because you may not all have the exact same goal, but you're on the same timetable, you know?
Yeah, we're all trying to beat traffic by just letting it die down. But
Yeah.
yeah, then I went to, then my next goal was like, you know what, I got some really nice shirts from Kohl's. You know, me, I like the apartment 9 line. And so I looked up like nearest, Kohl's, and I'm like, oh, there's one that's 13 minutes away. So then my next trip was like, let me go to Kohl's. And, and I went there and grabbed a few shirts that I've been wanting to, kind of, I think we talked about this. I've been trying to dress a little nicer on stage, like 4 or 5 years ago, I went to this period where I'm like, oh, I'll just wear solid t-shirts. That way I don't have to think about it. But,
Yeah.
but there's something nicer about, you know how you wear a lot of like, you'll wear a t-shirt that's a cool t-shirt, then you'll wear a blazer on top and you'll have
Right.
some pizzazz. So it looks, in pictures, it looks good. It looks good on stage. And, the same sort of thing. I didn't want to just be like, wearing these like, every picture the same shirt. So it's like, okay, let me kind of dress up a little bit. And
Yeah, like I understand the movement, I guess, that for a long time where it was like, it's uncool to try, and that really caught on in the 90s, like the where comics would read jokes out of a notepad and stuff like that, and they would dress like they were homeless, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And it was very popular for a long, and it still is in a lot of ways. But I had that sort of showbiz ethic of, do the best show you can do, and that's like on every level, on get the best costumes, if there's a dance involved, learn that dance and do it yourself. If there's stunts involved, get the best stunt people you can do, give a shit, try.
Right. Like, I've never been one to like half-ass stuff up there. Like, and I know it works for people, like where they, they have their yellow notepads or their phones, and now they're just staring at their phones doing it. But I try to at least commit it to memory. I mean, I don't mind if a person has a card and they're doing it like in a comedic way and they're still performing, but I'm like, I never did that. I never,
Yeah, it's like if it's a character, fine. But if it's, like, and I'm not saying, you have to wear a tuxedo at every show, but at least, like, I kind of feel my goal personally is, like, at least look as good as the laziest audience member there.
Right. Yeah, that was something a headliner told me when I started. He's like, try to dress like at the audience's level or above. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, they
that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, especially when you do a gig, you don't want to look like you're kind of like just struggling and poor. Like everyone has like nice clothes that are like, you know what I mean? At least like not ripped and stuff. And then this comic's up on stage with like dirty shoes and like ripped jeans.
Right.
Or shorts. How about shorts? When people wear, I know people wear it, but I don't like the shorts on stage. It just is like, dude, what are the,
Yeah, I'm not a shorts fan anyway.
Yeah.
Like just in general, like for me, there are very few guys that I think can actually pull off shorts and look anywhere near cool,
Yeah.
And I know I'm not one of them, and so it's like I just never cared.
Yeah. And then when you do TV, they always say, like, don't wear anything with logos on it. So that's why it's always been really hard to, like I've had to make an effort when I, buy clothes that I'm going to wear on stage. I'm like, okay, make sure there's no logos. Make sure there's no patterns that strobe on camera. They don't want logos. Certain colors they don't want, like all white. You're not supposed to wear that.
And, I think some of that is kind of dated now with, like, the technology has just gotten much, much better. But I'd rather err on the side of caution,
It used to piss us off. I was on this sketch show on BET called The Way We Do It. Did it for 2 seasons. And I remember, like, I was talking with some of the other comics backstage, and they're like, this is bull, man. Because they're like, how come, like all the celebrities, they don't tell them what to wear. They just show up, and it is what it is, When Snoop Dogg was on or whoever, all these different rappers would come on. They're not like, no, your logo's showing. Oh, you got to wear this black T-shirt. Oh, they're just They're wearing whatever, or like the
Turn your
couch.
shirt inside out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think it's a certain level that they know they can do it to. They're like, all right, now you take this electrical tape and cover that logo.
Right. And a lot of it, too, is just justifying their own paycheck. You know,
Right.
like I have to look like I'm doing something here, so I'll pick on this guy. You
Oh,
know?
they do that, right? They look you up and down. Okay, let's make sure. Yeah. So, anyways, I just goes all solid now. I'm like solid shirts. You know. Luckily, my North Face vest, if I ever have to, I will probably never wear it on TV intentionally. But I washed it so many times that the logo got washed off, and so it's just like a solid blue vest. You know, like. And I remember there was yeah.
Who was that guy that used to sell everything, like the infomercials and stuff?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, Ron Peele.
Yeah, but like before him, he was like the Michael Jordan of those guys.
Yeah.
He had a beard, like a black beard, but he would wear that blue shirt. Every time he would wear a blue button shirt, you know.
Oh, yeah, kind of like Leno. You know, like, hey, I wear two things. I wear denim and I wear suits.
Oh, God.
I either wear an all denim shirt and pants or I wear a suit. But that's good.
Know,
he doesn't have to think about it. He's just like, boom, got my outfit on, gonna drive around.
That's, yeah, you know, I guess Albert Einstein did that, where he had, I think he had 7 of the exact same suit made. So he'd never have to think about what he was going to wear.
Dude, I know. There's something that comes along, like, not that I'm like Einstein or Steve Jobs or nothing, but.
You're exactly like Einstein and Steve Jobs.
You know, that's what people say, I heard, but I don't.
Nobody says it, we just know it.
But
also, everyone, those guys that make fun of you are just jealous.
Yeah, that guy's like Steve Jobs and Einstein together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something nice about it where I'd be, yeah.
Darren, who reminds us of Steve Jobs and Elvis.
So that was a cool day. I went to Kohl's, like I said, got those shirts, and
now, have you used up your Kohl's cash?
Yeah, I have indeed. I know the Kohl's cash. You know, I wrote a great joke for Frasier. I go, everybody loves Kohl's cash. You know who doesn't? Strippers. Yeah. Here's a story I wanted to get to. Did you see that? I'll read the headline. Twitch's AI porn controversy is a creepy sign of things to come.
No.
Yeah, there was a Twitch streamer. His name is Brandon, a.k.a. Atrioc. He streamed an apology after accidentally revealing that he was looking at a deepfake porn of fellow Twitch streamers. So apparently this guy, he was streaming and he had some tabs open and some people, like, you know, somehow, I don't know how they found out, but like they screenshots or whatever, and they zoomed in on his tabs and they discovered that he had been watching porn with fellow Twitchers, but had taken their faces and all women and put them on porn stars. Do you know about this?
No, I didn't.
All right. They said, this type of porn is neither new nor, unfortunately, especially rare. With AI, people can create a pornographic image of friends, co-workers, acquaintances, and even strangers they meet in passing. And alarmingly enough, they can easily do without the consent or knowledge of the person whose image and likeness they're using.
Yeah.
Through
That kind of goes back to caveman days, I think, though.
Draw a stick figure of Jane.
Yeah. Yeah, lady I just met or whatever.
It says, last month, the popular AI art app Lenza briefly took the internet by storm, with many outlets, including Jezebel, noting its creepy tendency to create sexualized and otherwise problematic images of women and girls. And a report on the app, this girl says she observed that when she uploaded childhood photos of herself, what resulted were fully nude photos of an adolescent and sometimes childlike face, but a distinct adult body.
Yeah.
Most states have adopted a law in recent years to rein in this revenge porn or non-consensual type of porn. Then it goes on. It says, okay, now here's the lady so she was like the fellow Twitcher, all right? She says, quote, "Fuck Atrioc for showing it to thousands of people. Fuck the people DMing me pictures of myself from my website. Fuck you all. This is what it looks like. This is what the pain looks like. Someone else writes, it should not be part of my job to have to pay money to get this stuff taken down. It should not be part of my job to be harassed, to see pictures of me nude spread around. Another girl writes, Sweet Anita, another streamer. By the way, I don't think he showed the porn. They saw people saw tabs, and then people.
It's just not a good look.
Yeah, I literally.
The whole thing's kind of creepy. Yeah.
This chick writes, Sweet Anita, I literally chose to pass up millions by not going into sex work, and some random Cheeto-encrusted porn addict solicits my body without my consent instead. Don't know whether to cry, break stuff, or laugh at this point. I just don't think this should be the price for wanting to entertain people. It's funny, like...
yeah, I guess.
I mean, the part that I think is funny is that I don't know who these girls are, but I would imagine they're probably young and beautiful.
Right.
If you were to tell me, Darren, did you know that girls are making porn of you, Darren? They're taking your face and they're putting it on.
Well, that's unfortunately the whole disconnect between men and women right there is that a lot of the things that really bother them, guys would be thrilled, but it's like, because we're on the wrong end of the market, basically.
Right.
Of course we would be thrilled by that.
We're like, no, wait, what?
But for them, it's like highly, highly invasive, to have shit like that going on. And it's rough.
Would you be slightly flattered if that was happening to you?
Of course, but I'm, I'm in a completely different situation than they are. And
well, I got some good news for you, buddy. Guys, listen, if you subscribe, can you imagine that's our bonus? We're like,
but it's like, also, it's like, I don't fear that if some girl did something like that of me, I don't fear that she's going to get fixated on me and come murder me.
That's true.
Whereas girls have to deal with that shit. It's a much, much rougher consequence.
Oh yeah, and guys are pretty creepy. It's like, 'cause we know just we know that just from the fan perspective, where it could be, a little bit of that. Like, there's this guy today that I had to. He'd been sending me these DMs of him trying to do comedy, and it was really bad, and it was in his car. Like, it'd be like, it was like, hey, it was like, yo, I'm Rocky. Hey, you absolutely Rocky. And then a couple days later, it'd be another video. Hey, this is Rodney Dangerfield. I got no respect. After about the 9th video, I just was like, hey, buddy, please don't send these to me, because my inbox gets full of this kind of stuff, and it just is annoying. And he hasn't sent any more, but luckily he was like, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, it was a little frustrating for me to even send that to him, but I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to send it because,
right. And you don't know him well enough to know, like, is he going to take that the right way?
Right. Is this his way? Yeah, because he's totally just doing it because he's an up and coming comedian, and he's seen my comedy, and he's like, oh, let me. But in a way, maybe we're too open to each other. Like I was thinking about this, being an Elvis fan. Like, back in the day, if you were a fan of Elvis, you didn't, DM him. You just you go to his concerts, maybe write a fan letter. Like, now everyone's way too open, and I've known people that have, they get mad. I know this one comedian, he gets mad when he sends messages to other people on Instagram, and he goes, I know that they saw it because it says seen, and he goes, and they didn't even respond. So he starts getting kind of mad.
It's like,
or he gets hurt, the whole, whatever word you want to use for it. And it's like I know Elvis saw my message, and Elvis didn't
anything, like, they're strangers to you, and I think that is the disconnect that women have to worry about more. Is that if a guy gets bent out of shape with me and gets violent, most guys feel like they have a reasonable chance of defending themselves, but we're not outweighed by the other guy by 100 pounds, or a lot of the other like fears that women have to deal with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a much scarier situation when someone gets infatuated with them or whatever, that is like a stranger on the internet.
Right.
That's a fucking terrifying thing, especially if they are making their own weird shit about them. Like, even I would be weirded out if someone wrote a poem about me. I'd be like, okay, that's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
And that's like as positive a thing as you could do about someone else.
Yeah.
Like, when you really think about it, it's like, that's harmless, but that would raise a red flag to me, that someone was thinking about me that much that didn't know me.
You're like, okay. And guys used to do that all the time, right? Like, roses are red, violets are blue.
Right. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel for him on that sort of thing, because I don't think it is taken seriously, because guys aren't in those shoes.
It's also, I was thinking about this too, about that story. Like, the word porn they call it porn now. Remember, I remember they used to call it porno, like, and then they dropped the O somewhere along the line. And that's when you're older,
that's
when you're like,
point.
right? When you're like, hey, you want to watch a porno? It's like, oh, this guy's old. Like,
well, first of all, I don't want anyone saying that to me ever.
yeah.
When was that a commonplace thing for someone to go, hey, you want to watch a porno? Nope.
I don't know. Didn't they used to say that, like, with girls, back in the day, like, let's have a couple of drinks, go back to my bachelor pad and watch a porno.
We'll do some cocaine. It'll be fun.
And then it switched up to, like, let's watch porn together. No, that doesn't happen either. Now they say, what, Netflix and chill or whatever.
Yeah, it reminds me of. Did you ever see Boogie Nights?
Yeah, I did. We did.
With when Alfred Molina, towards the end of the movie, they're like trying to do that drug deal, and he's just insane, and he's like in his bathrobe and underwear, and he's got like cocaine all over him and stuff, and he's like, yeah, we'll do that in a minute, but first let me put on this mixtape that I made, and he starts playing his mixtape. And this other guy who has nothing to do with any of it is just wearing a diaper in the background and throwing black cats on the ground. And stuff.
Yeah.
But
I remember that. And I think they played.
Freaking everybody out.
Yeah.
It's like, that's got to be what it's like for a woman to see all these dudes on the internet. It's like, these guys are nuts. I
know. She's. Oh yeah. Remember they played that Sister Christian song during that scene. I think.
Yeah.
Sister Christian.
That was like his favorite song on his mixtape that he was playing.
Oh wow!
And he was like, "Why aren't these guys as excited about this as I am?" Well, because they're not insane, is why.
Yeah, that's funny. So it's February already, man. Can you one day we're doing Thanksgiving episodes, Christmas, and then it's the New Year. Now it's like February, and this is a short month. So next thing you know, it'll be March.
That is how it works. Yeah.
That's how it works. But I got to tell you something. So, I got to tell you, all right? So, February, hold on a second. Do you know when Groundhog Day is? Is it February 1st or 2nd? I think it's the 2nd.
It already happened. It was the 2nd.
February 2nd. Wow, that was February 2nd. Wow. So, guess how I was woken up February 2nd?
I don't know.
Well, I'm in a deep sleep. My wife comes into the bedroom blasting a song. The song was I've Got You, Babe by Sonny and Cher.
Yeah, from the movie.
Yeah, because there was a movie called Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, and then every day at 6 a.m., bing, they say, I've got you, babe. So my wife and son had already been awake for a while, so they thought it was hilarious. I didn't get it at first.
Right.
and the funny thing is,
terrified.
Yeah, I was terrified. I was like, what? The room's all dark, the shades are dark. I was like, I think I'd been out late the night before at the Comedy Store.
Right.
So I had like 4 hours of sleep, and I'm waking up to I've Got You, Babe, and them laughing. and then it hit repeat, and she was playing it over and over like a couple times just to kind of really drive home the fact that it's Groundhog Day.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, why is that song starting over? And it's like every time they did it was funnier. And then once I was awake, I was like, oh yeah, that is pretty clever. Like I didn't,
Yeah.
you know, I want to do that to someone next year.
Well, what I did is today, February 3rd, at 6 a.m., I did a post with that song on it. And people were like, Groundhog's Day was yesterday, man. And it's like, was it? Or is it today?
Oh, that's funny. Was it? Or is it today yesterday? That's great.
That's my favorite thing to do this time of year is to do that.
That was such a great movie. I want to watch it again. It's funny because when it first came out, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't quite. I liked parts of it, but I was kind of like, I don't really. It didn't really grab me the first time. I probably, like I said, I probably wasn't paying attention. I probably only saw parts of it. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those that, oddly enough, as repetitive as the film is, the more you watch it, the funnier it gets. Like each time I've seen that movie, I notice some new thing that I missed in the previous viewings, you know.
Oh, 100%. And especially as you gain more life experience, you get older, you can relate to different parts that maybe
right.
didn't hit you. Like the part where Bill Murray steps off the curb
Yeah.
into the puddle, and then one guy, I forget their names, but he's like, Phil.
Yeah.
And he's bing, and he's like, remember me from the high school talent show? I was the belly button whistler.
Right, yeah.
You know?
That guy's very real. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, I probably just thought, oh, that's funny, or whatever. And then maybe like I saw it 5 years later, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when that was a big rage back then when people would lift up their shirt and put lipstick around their belly. It was on all those talent shows on TV, like the Gong Show or whatever, like those. And now at this age, I look at it like, wow, my son's been in talent shows, and that would be interesting if like. That's the highlight of someone's life of like, remember me, the talent show in high school? Like, it's almost kind of sad, you know, like,
yeah,
you know,
that was
like
kind of the whole point was just how sad it was.
Yeah, you're big.
That guy had some great lines too, where he was like, he's trying to remind him who he is, and he goes, I dated your sister until you told me not to.
Oh, he said that? That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has like, you know, Bill Murray is such a brilliant comedic talent, but he had some of the lines that he improvised within like the context of the movie were so good. Like there's one where he's talking on the phone to someone and trying to explain a situation to them, and you see him go, well, what if there is no tomorrow? There wasn't one today.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm up on every.
That's so funny. That's funny, man. Bill Murray's great.
Yeah, that movie is tremendous. And Harold Ramis is such a brilliant director. He made it, you know, that would have been a really, really tough movie to direct and get right, you know, like having to cover, you know, just the continuity alone.
Oh, yeah. Or you're like, oh, wait, did we do this already? Or, yeah, right, the continuity. Right, because it's supposed to be the same day, and it's like, especially if you don't do it right, like an amateur,
to make that actually work.
An inexperienced director and the whole or crew, things wouldn't be put back perfectly how they were the day before, and so it would lose the whole point of the movie. It'd be like, this doesn't look like the same day at all.
And it's one of those that, like, you look at it now and you realize he just hacked it with comedic talent. It's not just Bill Murray. There's, you know, Chris Elliott, Brian Doyle Murray. A bunch of people that I've seen that are like old Second City, you know, improv people. Michael Shannon is in there. A young Michael Shannon. He plays like one half of a young couple, and I think maybe Cherry O'Terry is the other half. I'm not sure, but yeah, that movie just is really, really brilliant.
That's such a brilliant movie, man. That's funny that you do that. That's kind of like me after Christmas, like in the month of especially January and February, when I go for walks and people still have their Christmas decorations up. I love taking videos, and we still celebrating Christmas. We ain't letting it go. I mean, I saw a wreath on a grill of a car last week. I'm like, wow, they still haven't taken that down. The reindeer. How about that? When people do that, they drive around with reindeer antlers. On their cars.
Yeah, and especially like if you're still doing it at this point, if it's February and you're still doing that, it's a cry for help. You know, like
yeah. Like
clearly life really has knocked you over. You know,
yeah.
You need a break.
I'm just really early for next year. Like it's one thing if they have like the Christmas lights up, you know, I'm like, okay, it's who wants to string those every year, but when they have when they have certain things still turned on, it's like, you know.
Yeah, if they're still on, that's a sad thing now.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because I'm looking around our home and it's we do leave up a little bit of the red and white, but because it blends into Valentine's, so we have lots of hearts and cupids and.
I remember one of the saddest things that I've seen recently was there. You know how there's like sometimes a Starbucks inside a Target?
Yeah.
I was in line to I was like, I'll just get a iced coffee or something to pep me up. And I'm behind this lady and she waits her turn and finally she gets up there and she goes, yeah, I'd like a pumpkin spice latte. And then goes, oh, that's a seasonal thing. We're sold out of it. So, till when? Well, till the next winter. A year from now?
Yeah.
She said it just like that. Like it really messed her up. She was like, a year from now? And they were like, yeah, I'm sorry. And the girl didn't know what to do. She was like, I can check and see if we still have the mix in the back. Because she could tell it was like, this might be life or death for this lady.
Wow. She's probably one of those people guaranteed she's got the Christmas decorations up still.
Really counting on it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, this could be a problem if she doesn't get pumpkin spice something, And, she was like, no, we're totally out, but I'm sorry. She's like, they may have it online or something. And the lady goes, yeah. And she goes, well, would you like something else? It'll be on us. She goes, oh, no, I just really like pumpkin spice. And then she just left.
Yeah.
Defeated. And me and the lady both looked at each other like, I don't know what to do. There's nothing to do for her.
I know.
I imagine there are guys like me that are like that about the McRib. On the day after it's done.
Yeah.
They're just like, fuck, why even live?
Yeah. Damn it, no more McRib. It was part of my I look forward to it.
For another year, I can't have a McRib.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of the pumpkin spice latte.
I'm not a big fan of either of those things, the McRib or pumpkin spice, or what's the other one? The Shamrock Shake.
The Shamrock Shake, or at Starbucks. Yeah.
They're super hyped up.
Yeah.
But when you actually try them, it's like, I could make a better version of this very easily.
I would usually go with I think it's called the chestnut praline drink. And I would try that sometimes. That one was a pretty good holiday tradition. I get
that doesn't sound like a real thing. Chestnut praline.
Oh, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I knew it has the word chestnut because there was a chestnut street in my hometown, so I'd always be like, it's chestnut something, and they're like praline, and it's like this crunchy stuff they put on top of the whipped cream. It's really good.
I know what pralines are. There's one of my favorite ice cream flavors is pralines and cream. Have you ever tried that?
Oh yeah, dude. When I worked at Baskin-Robbins, that was like the first thing I fell in love with, because growing up, when you grow up, your parents will probably buy they buy certain kinds of ice cream, and when we grew up, it was always like vanilla, chocolate, Rocky Road,
Neapolitan.
mint chocolate chip, and I think that was it. Like those 5 flavors. So when I worked at Baskin-Robbins in the 80s and they had like 31 flavors, it was like, what is this? And it was like pralines and cream and cookies and cream, and I loved pralines and cream back then.
Did you happen to? There's another seasonal thing, but when Stranger Things took over Baskin-Robbins, and they did upside down pralines and cream.
Wow, what's that?
It's pralines and cream, but with chocolate ice cream instead of vanilla ice cream. It's pretty good. I actually prefer pralines and cream, the regular kind, but it was nice for a change to try that,
I think I would try that. It's funny, I'm not a huge chocolate fan. Like, I know some people love chocolate. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need.
Well, it was basically at that point kind of like a Heath bar.
Right.
And it was good. My favorite flavor of ice cream at Baskin-Robbins ever was a seasonal thing, and it happened one time, I think, in the 80s, and never ever came back. It was at Halloween. Maybe you were working there when they were doing these. They made ice cream devils, and they were like a scoop of ice cream, and they would take like licorice and make like a little devil face on it. But it was watermelon ice cream, and it was bright red, and it was delicious. It tasted like watermelon Jolly Ranchers. I don't know if you've ever had those.
Oh yeah, those are good.
But like ice, like a sherbet version of that, and it was so good. And I had it one time, and I came back, and they've never had watermelon ice cream again since then.
I always skipped the sherbet area. I was never into the sherbet.
Well, a lot of wieners don't like the sherbet.
You a pervert if you like sherbet. I don't know.
No,
it sounds like
good, but it's like if you find a place that sells gelato, get their sherbet. It like the gelato version where it's like there's orange sherbet is a very American.
Oh, okay, you're right. I like that. I'm like, okay.
But like the orange gelato actually will taste like orange. It won't taste like the candy flavor orange. It will taste like orange.
All right, I got one for you. Ready? I looked up the original 31 flavors. These are the original from 1945 when Baskin-Robbins first came around in 1945. Okay. We'll move through the list pretty fast. Well, we'll do whatever we do. But if you want to riff on it, go for it.
Okay.
And we'll both say yes, no, or maybe. Okay. Right. Or we'll just go yes or no. Screw it. Banana nut fudge.
Gross.
Yes. I'll say yes. Black walnut.
Nope. That sounds nasty.
Burgundy cherry.
Well, I guess cherry sounds good, but I don't know about the burgundy part.
I'll say no. Butterscotch ribbon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cherry macaroon.
I guess that'd be okay.
I don't know what that is, so I'll say no. Chocolate. Yes.
Yeah.
Chocolate almond.
I'd
say yes. Chocolate chip.
Fine.
I'd say yes. Chocolate fudge.
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
Me too, yes. Chocolate mint.
Yeah, I like that.
Chocolate ribbon.
It's the same. It's all chocolate.
Coffee.
Kind of bullshit me. It's chocolate.
With a different word at the end. Yeah. 31 flavors. Dude, it's like 12 flavors.
Yeah. Coffee.
I'd say no. I just want...
Coffee would be like my last pick.
Yeah, I want to get some coffee ice cream. Like, what? Yeah. Just give me some coffee. Coffee candy. I'll say no.
Nope.
Dude, this sounds gross. Date nut.
Ugh.
Eggnog.
No.
No. French vanilla.
Yeah, that's just vanilla.
Yeah, I remember eating that, going, what's the difference? And it was slightly different, but I don't know. What are they doing? They put more eggs in it or something? I don't know. It wasn't that good, though. I got to be honest. It wasn't like my new thing.
Yeah, I don't need extra eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. Green mint stick.
That oddly sounds more like it should be a French flavor.
Yeah, I don't know how the word
French
stick is.
green mint stick.
Lemon crisp.
I don't like that crisp is in there. I don't think of lemons as crispy.
Lemon custard.
Yeah, I would eat that.
Lemon sherbet.
All right, now they're just being
Yeah.
again. Chocolate lemon.
Yeah, exactly. Chocolate lemon sherbet stick. Yeah. No, here we go. How about maple nut?
No.
Oh, see, I'd go for maple nut. Orange sherbet.
Yeah.
I'd say no.
On
I'll
a
say
hot
no.
Summer day.
Yeah, on a hot summer day. You're right.
Orange
You're right. Peach.
I would try that. I bet that's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I think my wife was getting peach ice cream a couple summers ago. It was really good. There was I want to say there was real peaches in there.
Sounds like it would be good.
It was very, very good. Who would have thought? And it was good. Peppermint fudge ribbon.
That's too much. They made it too
Yeah,
complicated.
it sounds like you're going to get sick off of it. Peppermint stick.
I don't like peppermint ice cream. That sounds...
Then you wouldn't like peppermint pineapple sherbet.
No, I wouldn't. Ugh.
Raspberry sherbet.
That would probably be okay.
Rocky Road nut.
I don't... Why are you adding nut? It would... If it was just Rocky Road. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
fancy it up.
Straw. And then the last three are strawberry, vanilla, burnt almond.
I'm okay with all of them except the burnt almond one. I don't want a lot of crunchy shit in my ice cream.
Yeah.
It's the same with chocolate cake. How now it's all the rage to put a bunch of chocolate chips
Oh, yeah.
all over the chocolate cake. You're just ruining it. It's the whole point is that it's smooth and moist
Yeah.
and creamy. You throw a bunch of hard ass chocolate chips in there to teach everyone a lesson, I guess. I
Yeah.
hate it.
How about
And
this? Yeah, they do that too.
All
Yeah.
everywhere now.
What do you think of that trend with you go to get yogurt or whatever when it comes out of the machine and then you can add Captain Crunch to it and Fruit Loops and more sugary stuff? I don't like that either.
It seems like you're just saying your yogurt sucks if you have to add all these
Yeah.
crazy concoctions to it. And it's there's some things that it's the smooth texture is what it's all about. It's oh, here's some pudding. But before you eat it, let me mix a bunch of grape nuts into it. Well,
Yeah.
why? Why would you do that to it?
Okay, so that was the 1945 list. Here's the current list, and it's a lot shorter.
Okay.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, yeah.
Love Potion 31.
I have no idea what that is.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
Oreo cookies and cream.
I would eat it.
Chocolate chip.
Sure.
Pralines and cream.
Wait, didn't they already? Fuck it. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I know.
Yeah, pralines and cream. Yeah, yeah.
Very berry strawberry.
Okay.
Ooh, this looks good. I love this. Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Old fashioned butter pecan. I'd eat that.
Yeah, I guess.
Jamocha.
Nope.
Peanut butter cup.
Yeah,
Rocky Road.
I don't think peanut butter cup ever turns out as great as anyone thinks it will.
Right. Oh,
Rocky Road, fine.
they added it to peanut butter and chocolate.
Okay.
Oh, they dressed this up. They said world class chocolate.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah. Oh, and then everything else is pretty much the same except for here's one. Wild and reckless. I'd like a wild and reckless and also a polka dot.
That is like,
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Here's some seasonal flavors.
it
American.
tastes like a penis without a condom.
Yeah. Say that part. Say that again.
It tastes like a penis without a condom. It's wild and reckless.
Wild and
flavor.
reckless. Yeah. How about
I don't
this?
want
Seasonal flavors. I didn't even know they had this. America's birthday cake. Baseball
No.
nut. Blueberry cheesecake. Bourbon Street pecan pie.
These are all awful flavors.
Brownie bar mashup. Cherry cordial with kisses. Chocolate mousse royale.
A lot of these are sexual positions.
I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. Love Potion 31.
Right.
It sounds like, is it a flavor or a position? Icing on the cake.
That's definitely a position.
Is it a position or a flavor? Rock and pop swirl.
Yeah, all of these are much better sexual positions
Trick,
than they are ice cream
trick
flavors.
Oreo treat.
Yeah.
Winter white chocolate.
Oh, no.
Made with Snickers. Is this a flavor or a position? Mango tango.
One of the fans is gonna make porn out of this.
Yeah, I know. This is regional flavors. Pink bubble gum.
Ugh.
Ugh, I
God, that
know.
sounds awful. What
Miami
kind of
Vice or
bad
Splish
came up with
Splash. Yeah. Oh, they have Wild and Reckless Sherbet.
I know.
Ooh, this is like the grossest one, I think. Rum raisin.
No.
Mississippi mud. Is that a position or a flavor? Mississippi mud.
Yeah.
Bananas and strawberries. That sounds like
You
penis.
can't get pregnant if we do Mississippi mud.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is a flavor. It's called vomit. It says it's a regional flavor, vomit. That's gross. What is wrong? What's gone down? This is not the store that they invented in 1945.
No, this can't. Baskin and Robin are both rolling in their graves right now.
They're both rolling over in their deep freezers.
Yeah. Do you remember when you were a kid, you could go to Baskin-Robbins and get dry ice for Halloween?
Oh yeah.
And you would put it in, like, now it's like, I guess it's much more dangerous, or people just notice that it's dangerous finally. But like when we were a kid, you could get it and you would like throw a little normal water on it and it would smoke up your whole house and make it look haunted.
Oh yeah.
I used to love that.
I know.
I liked that more than the ice cream, knowing that I could get dry ice every now and again.
Two of the memories I have from Baskin-Robbins is three. I really did I used to do a joke about it, but I still do, and it's true. I got fired for licking my fingers.
I remember you telling me that.
Right? I remember not even arguing. I was like, that sounds like something I would do. You know?
What a creep.
Yeah.
Darren, you can't stick your hand in the pink bubble gum and then lick it.
I don't remember licking my fingers, but I do remember like how it would drip down your arm. I probably did like lick it off my arm. It's so stupid. Why would I do that? As an adult now, I'm like, gosh, what an idiot I
That is
was.
such a creepy ass move if you did it in front of a customer.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, excuse me for a moment, and then just
Yeah.
lick yourself clean in front of them.
I mean, I just didn't know anything, at that age. I was like 15 and a half. I remember like the lady getting mad at me. She's like, not mad, but she goes, you're using the same like towel to wipe down the counter as you did the ice cream off the floor. She's like, you can't use the same towel. See, now I know that, but as a kid, I was like, really? I thought this was for cleaning.
I don't know where germs go.
Yeah. And then licking the spare ice cream off my body.
As she's telling you that, you're like,
I really like that. And the another memory I have is they didn't have security cameras at the store. I don't know if they probably weren't that popular back then. So the way that they would spy on us, our boss would like sit in his. And now looking back, he probably didn't have a lot of money either, because I remember the employee meeting when I got hired was at his apartment. It was his little apartment, and these cheap apartments that were over there, and that it was a bad neighborhood, by the way. So he'd be in his green station wagon, and he would be watching us with binoculars. So people,
that's weird.
yeah, he'd sit in the parking lot, at night. So the store's all lit up, so we're very easy to see, and then giant windows. And then I remember customers would be like, "Hey, there's a guy with a beard and a green green station wagon watching you guys with binoculars." And we're like, "Oh yeah, that's our boss."
I like that you're like licking your fingers as you're telling them that. Oh, that's our boss.
That's our boss. We're like, well, at least they're binoculars. He's not watching us with a telescope with one hand free, like a creep.
Right. They're like, that is the creepiest Baskin-Robbins of all time.
40 years from now, he'll be taking AI with our employee photos.
Right.
And but I remember like there was that, and then I remember this one guy came in and was he was a little light in the loafers, we'll say, and he was asking for ice cream samples, and he had grocery bags in each hand, and he asked me to put the little pink spoon in his mouth. He's like, my hands are full. Can you just give me the? And I remember doing it once, and I was like, oh wait, they want me in the back, and I was like, what the fuck is going on out there? This is creepy. It's like, yeah.
Well, you were probably sending him mixed signals if you were licking ice cream off of yourself. Oh,
I know.
He's like, this guy gets it.
He gets it. One of my people. He's part of my tribe. No. I don't even know if I actually did it. I just remember like him wanting to like, hey, he goes, do you mind putting that in my hands are kind of full right now. And I was like,
he's like that guy from I Love Lucy. Yes.
Yes.
Would you put it in my mouth for me?
Yeah.
I noticed you like to lick yourself.
Yeah. I remember the way that they, I think I got fired was, it kind of came to that where there was like this employee meeting on Saturday and it had like everyone's name on it that was required to be there. My name wasn't. And then there was like another meeting and I wasn't on that meeting either. And then I wasn't on the schedule and I was like, what's going on here? And then I think that's when they told me like, hey,
Wait a second.
Wait a second. I don't
work here
I don't have any
anymore.
hours. I'm not invited to these meetings. What's going on?
They stopped paying me to come here.
Dude, it was very depressing, like realizing how naive and inexperienced I was. Like I remember hearing that song by Prince, Raspberry Beret.
Yeah.
And then the lyric, there's that one part where it goes, she was working part-time at a 5 and dime. Her boss was Mr. McGee. And I was like, wow, even this girl has a job in the song. Like, she works part-time. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to have a job. Like
in that song, Prince didn't have a job.
Oh.
And why was that?
Why?
Because Mr. McGee thought he was too leisurely.
Oh, you're right. He said, I worked a little too... Yeah, oh, you're right. I forgot about that. I worked a bit too leisurely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, maybe that's why I got that syndrome where I thought I was like Prince.
Right, yes. You're exactly like Prince.
I'm like Prince. I'm like everybody. I'm like Steve Jobs. I found out on this episode.
I guarantee if Prince worked at Baskin-Robbins, he would have been fired for licking his fingers.
I can actually picture it. Yeah.
100%. He was.
Yeah.
And he would do that weird little moonwalk, reverse moonwalk while he was doing it.
She wanted raspberry sorbet. The kind you find at a Baskin-Robbins store.
Yeah, Morris Day and Jerome would turn him in.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerome would be having the mirror, and then Morris Day would be having the binoculars.
He would see it out like through the mirror's reflection. He would see Prince doing that. Oh, we got to tell the ball.
Yeah, Prince would be at Baskin-Robbins, and the time they would be at a Cold Stone Creamery or something.
Right? Yeah, whoever their competitor is.
Oh, that would be extra humiliating, having to sing to the customers for a tip.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
Man, that was the worst. But hey, Mike, it was another fun episode. Thanks for enjoying. Thanks for coming on the Pocket Party podcast. We talked about Groundhog Day. We talked about AI. You know what? We talked about Baskin-Robbins. We went through all the 31 flavors. We should go to a Baskin-Robbins one day and do like a special episode. And
I wish we could do one with your boss that had to fire you. Like that would be the best.
I know. I think I went on Google Maps one day. It's not even there anymore. I think it's totally been bulldozed out of the parking lot and it's gone. That parking lot, I think, is now a Walmart, which is weird because I had a lot of memories from going to that shopping center back in the day. There was a video game.
We should go one of these days for sure and just check out like whatever the thing is that they're promoting that week. We should try. Yeah,
we'll do a real-time test and be like, okay, this is.
They're always doing like some crazy. Like the last time I went there, this was before the pandemic, but they were doing soft serve ice cream, like the big vanilla cones, the swirly ones, but they would dip them in like sprinkles, but the sprinkles would change color when you licked them.
Oh, wow.
And I was too embarrassed to get one. But now, like, ever since then, I've been like, I want to know how that works.
You're like, after pandemic, nothing is embarrassing. I'm living my life to the fullest.
Like, yeah, you don't know how long you're going to be here.
Oh, I have one more memory about a Baskin-Robbins. There was one in Burbank, and it was in the same parking lot as the first boxing gym I joined. And I remember these heavyweight boxers were sparring, and afterward, the one guy didn't, he didn't really do too well. And these are pros, right? And I'll never forget the image of him after he was sparring. It was kind of got beat up a little bit, and then he was doing like crunches and stuff. And his coach was like, "Come on, you could do it." He's like 10 more. And then the guy. Oh yeah, he had like a weight around his head, like a strap around his head, and he was lifting up to kind of strengthen his neck muscles. If you can picture that. So you're on all fours and you're lifting your head up and down, but you're trying to strengthen your head so you can absorb those punches. And he was like, he tells his coach, he goes, "Hey, after this workout, can I get an ice cream?" And he was like, and the coach was like, "Yes, you can get ice cream. You work very hard today, young boy. You remind me of Colonel Parker. He was like, you worked very hard. Yeah. We get you ice cream. We get you ice cream." He goes, "Okay, boss, I'll get my ice cream."
You have all the wonderful flavors of ice cream that you desire. Any ice cream that you want, Darren. Darren, feel free to lick your fingers with reckless abandon because you and I are both lost children.
Thank you very much. We get cherry jubilee. But yeah, that guy was like, he's like, "I want the ice cream." He goes, "We give you ice cream. We give you ice cream. You deserved it today."
You deserved it.
I'll never forget just that image of this 6'4" brute, just like this professional boxer, like just like a kid again, he earned his ice cream of the day.
Days that he didn't deserve it. Don't get no ice cream today.
You lost the sparring match. You only get ice cream when you win.
He broke my legs. Yeah, no ice cream for you.
Yeah, you'll get, maybe a sherbet.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Hey, guys, if you're still listening, do us a favor. Leave a comment below on YouTube. It helps the algorithm. At least give it a thumbs up. Give it a little thumbs up, a little comment.
Yeah, likes, comments, shares, all of that stuff matters to the almighty algorithm. So please do any of those things. They all help.
And we hope we made your day a little bit better. And thanks again for joining Darren Carter and Mike Black on the Pocket Party Podcast.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know what time it is. Time to get that party started all up in your ear holes. Here we go. When you had a bad day and you want those bad vibes to go away.
When every day life gets harder. Darren
Carter.
You need the party starter.
It's the Pocket Party Podcast.
With the run.
Pocket Party Podcast.
In your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast.
It's in your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast. Or if your day needed a booster, then you need to talk to Red Rooster. Mr. Carter about to take you to school. Here we go. Don't hurt nobody and don't hurt yourself.